Hi guys, it's Roger and Abe here from DizKingdom.com, and we are going to be discussing some information that came out literally just last night from Game Informer on Disney Infinity 3.0. Usually we do all the Disney Infinity stuff on our Disney Infinity and Beyond podcast, which we do every Monday morning, but somebody's fell asleep this week and missed the show.
Yeah. Sorry.
And so we had the news last night, and I was going to shoot a little video for this anyway. So I thought, since I've got him up this morning and he's finished making his cakes, we can. Well, I thought we would cover a little bit of news on Disney Infinity 3.0's Toy Box expansion discs. So we have got Takeover and Speedway. Did you see those stories yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Oh yeah.
Which one we talk about?
Shall we? Let's start off with the we'll start off with the Takeover because that's the one we know the least about.
Okay, well, we didn't get any video on that one, but it's cool. I do like the idea of it. It was originally called Villain Takeover, but it's called Toy Box Takeover, and basically the story is it's Syndrome finds one of the what do you call it, the magic wands.
The magic one, yeah.
Yeah, that everybody uses to build a toy box, and basically what he's doing is like melding all these worlds and creating this toy box of all these baddies that we have to go against. And it looks very cool. I do like the idea of it being compared to Diablo. It has more of a fighter style.
Yeah, it's a dungeon crawler. I think that's what they specifically called it.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason why they're comparing it to Diablo a little bit more is because the previous dungeon crawlers they just weren't too happy with, and so they wanted it to be a little bit more expansive. Apparently, the sidekicks are also going to be way better than before, and apparently also, which has nothing to do with this game, but apparently farming is going to make them better. But we can talk about that another time.
Yeah.
But anyways, they look very cool. I do like the fact that off the bat, anybody can play in this.
Yeah.
Back in the the Asgard ones or the Escape Killing one, it had to be Marvel characters, or Stitch and Merida had to be Disney characters. Well, this one, anybody can be a part of it.
Yeah.
And
I do notice they specifically said including Star Wars, Pixar, and modern and classic Disney. So once again, it looks like Marvel kind of isn't allowed to be mentioned alongside the other ones, but hopefully they'll be in there.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be able to be playable. It's just they're not mentioning them together, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, but it's specifically they've kind of gone in and just taken a look, I think, at what Escape from the Kill did, and decided to try doing something to try and make it a lot better process. I'm still hoping that those Toy Box games can come over, but the main thing that they did say as well is with both the Toy Box, both Toy Box expansion packs, is that they are going to be something that a user could not generate. I think they've kind of gone in and they brought in different teams to Avalanche are doing Takeover, and Sumo are doing the Speedway one because they want to create something that it's not just a toy box. They needed to make it better than just a toy box, and I think that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, so and also they're also being sold separately, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. Yeah, they're going to be rather than a twin pack. So let's bring up the other one that we got a lot more information on, which is the Speedway. So this is kind of like a Mario Kart Sonic Racing. It was done by the team that did Sonic Racing. And they also did the Little Big Planet race game as well.
I think they did the Little Big Planet game. I don't know if they did the actual racing. I think they did the actual game. Yeah.
But this again, we had a lot more information on this, and we saw 2 gameplay videos from Game Informer showing off the footage of the racing. There's a couple of screenshots here. Yeah, you carry on.
Now, off the bat, scroll back up to that one's the popular one right there.
Yeah.
But did anybody notice that vehicle that's in front of Yoda?
Yes. Yeah, because they got the Jawa sort of.
That got me so excited when I saw it.
But also, you notice that you've got 6 cars on the racetrack.
Right, that's correct. You want to talk about it, or do you want me to talk about it?
Yeah. They've upped it from 4 to 6, but I think you can still only play 4-player. Only have 4 players, so the other 2 would be controlled by the computer.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah, the other 2, as you can see in the image themselves, usually the computer has the car's characters racing with you. Well, in this image, you see Holly and lightning on the very front. So absolutely, it's just 4 players and 2 computers playing with you.
What I really like is the fact that if they're doing this with other vehicles rather than the car ones all the time. I mean, it looks like they're still going to be part of it, but looking at this one here, you don't have any person. It doesn't look like there's anybody in the vehicle. It's just a vehicle on its own, by the looks of it.
No, there's people in them.
Yeah. No, you can see it on the Yoda and on the Darth Maul because they're playing a split screen. But on the Speedster, there's nobody in the car.
Really? I'm gonna have to rewatch the video. Yeah. I mean, it could be
it could be like early.
Beta stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's cool.
But no, and also they looks like they've changed the button, the overall driving experience because they've changed the boost symbol and they've changed the weapons because the weapons coming out.
Yeah, they did mention that the driving is a little bit tighter, so it should be easier to control. I do like the fact that it's not an actual track; it's actually the whole scenario, like the whole area is part of the track. As opposed to in the toy box, you had that you literally would see where your track was.
You can still see on here. You can still see that there's definitely a track.
Well, that's when you start. But I mean, when you go further on in the video, you'll see them going over terrain, over the sides. I mean, it's not necessarily staying on an actual track like you would in the toy box. In the toy box, you had to stay on the track, or else it'll reboot you and put you back onto the track. So.
I mean, yeah, I think it's to try and kind of fun it up a bit with shortcuts, etc. So there's going to be racetracks from Wreck-It Ralph, Frozen, Monsters Inc., and Star Wars. And this is the Frozen one. Now, something that really caught everyone's attention was that marshmallow monster that was in the middle of the screen that you race under its feet. And that just got everyone excited because that's something you couldn't do in the toy box. That is specifically made for that race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is really cool. I've always liked racing games. I've been a Super Mario Kart fan since it came out on the SNES way back when. You know, always just well, it's called a SNES in the UK.
I guess so. Yeah. I had to translate for the Americans.
Yeah, for the American audience. I think in general, I think this is a great expansion pack. I think this is also a way of them doing a little bit more of that structured play that is not restricted to a play set.
Right.
I love the fact that they're bringing in new people to work on it. Anything else you want to throw in on the Speedway?
Just one thing from the update that I got, and I'm excited for. The Monsters Inc. track almost never made it in there, and apparently the developers fought for it, and it made it in. And I'm excited for it because apparently, obviously this is something you can't duplicate in the toy box, but apparently you're going to be racing in the whole place where there's tons of doors. So
yeah,
I'm excited to see how that's going to look, especially in a racetrack. So. But apparently you can use some of the rails too to actually race that way too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
I've always loved the racing part of Disney Infinity. I know a lot of people were like, they kind of dismissed it. I always loved the Cars play set. I thought it was one of the ones I really enjoyed playing in the first game. And when they brought the racing into 2.0, it pretty much was the exact same race game. They didn't make any differences to the race. You still had Holly running by going, hello, how are you? Hey, Francisco. Hi, Holly. Hi, Holly. Hi. And you're just like, shut up. But they made the driving a lot smoother. I found I could control it better than I could on the first game. But if you were the speed of the vehicles was something, if you were on a motorcycle, you could just. I remember that race that I think me and Travis had, and I was on a motorcycle and I lapped everybody because it was. Yeah. It was just completely.
It was not consistent. That whole race was just weird. So.
But no, it's really cool. I mean, we'll be discussing this in a lot more detail and all the other updates from Disney Infinity on the next show, which we'll be doing on Monday. It'll be episode 42 for that one. But yeah, you can also find a link in this one here to our last webcast where Travis joined me where we were discussing all the news. So yeah, a big thank you to Abe for joining me on this one. And like I said, remember you can always comment below and subscribe to the channel and check us out at DizKingdom.com.
All right. Laters, guys.
Laters.